Nigga, look at him. That's a body. Oh.
Yeah, that is in Hispanic for sure.
Oh, yeah. Dark. It's like one of you, Bob.
Like
that.
This is going to be a very, very graphic episode. Just going to warn you right now. We're covering some topics tonight that are not easy to stomach. The United States of America is getting more violent by the day, especially in big blue cities, big blue states, where the defund the police agenda is unraveling. Don't believe the woke tards on the left when they say, oh, well, you don't know what defund the police really means. It doesn't mean get rid of the police. That's what the communists want you to think. The people who get hurt the most are innocent people that get caught in the crossfire, and that was what we are starting to see across the United States of America. Chicago, 2 Puerto Ricans were shot celebrating Puerto Rican Day. One survived, and another man was executed in the middle of the entire parade, driving down the street. We saw that, and we're going to get into that tonight as well. But Juneteenth, the so-called federal holiday that is supposedly celebrating the end of slavery, but we all know it's going to get hijacked by communists, just like black people and Black Lives Matter. We all know what's really going on here. They turned violent, and you got black people celebrating the end of slavery by beating the hell out of other black people. Totally makes sense, right, guys? That's how we're going to celebrate the end of the liberation of our people. We're just going to beat the hell out of our people. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, more black people beating black people to celebrate the end of black people being slaves. Makes total sense, guys. Alrighty, guys, my name is Drew Hernandez, and yes, this show is extremely offended, and because it's offensive, it's because obviously I say some things that normal people are afraid to say. That's why we're so shadow banned on this channel. You are now watching Drew Hernandez Live. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor, please subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, destroy that like button, and share this video far and wide, and make sure to hit that bell notification and toggle on the all selection. Like I said, we're extremely shadow banned, so it's really hard to monetize on this channel over 55K and can barely pull 3K an episode. That is not because the show sucks, I can guarantee you that. It's because we are shadow banned. So because of that, it's hard to monetize and to fund ourselves as independent alternative media creators. So if you would like to support me and this show, drop a super chat either right now in the middle of the show or at the end of the show. We do Q&A format, or you can give a one-time donation on my website at drewhlive.com, or consider joining the DH Alliance for as low as $5 a month. We do have some updates that should be rolling out this week. The Discord and all that good stuff. The Patreon will be revamped as well. So if you are supporting me on Patreon, be on the lookout for a email by us with some updates, because you might have to re-register on Patreon. So we'll be doing all that good stuff too. So the link is in the description below. Also, check out the Drew Hernandez Live, the dhlive.com merch store. The link is in the description if you'd like to support us. Cop a t-shirt, male, female, all that good stuff. So this is the way. Here we go. Juneteenth. Okay, supposedly the end of slavery. Black people are celebrating this, and I'm not opposed to that because I'm not opposed to slavery being abolished or anything like that. The problem is we have communists that have infiltrated the black community, predominantly on the left. Okay, black people have been hijacked in this country, and we've seen it through organizations like Black Lives Matter, where trained Marxists have branded dead black people, okay? They've branded dead blacks, that's what they've done, and they've made billions of dollars doing so, okay? Black people have branded dead black people to put billions of dollars into their pockets, buying mansions, manors, you name it, okay? The co-founder of Black Lives Matter spent something like over $150K on a YouTube live stream once. And I'm expected to believe that black people are financially oppressed. Get out of here, okay? These neo-Marxist organizations have hijacked the black community, and now you have some of the parents of the victims of these dead black kids, like Breonna Taylor, Eric Gardner, the list goes on. Now the parents are coming out and saying, hey, Black Lives Matter, you guys raised millions of dollars off of our dead black kids. Where the hell is our cut? Yeah, that's happening, okay? These are communists. They're self-proclaimed trained Marxists in this organization that have hijacked the black community, that have literally branded dead blacks, okay? And they've also branded the victimhood of blacks as well. And they've made a profit of that. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic that they have made a profit by branding, okay? Black people have made an empire of wealth. Black people have made an empire of wealth through Black Lives Matter, but how they did it was they branded the victimization of black people, claiming that they're financially oppressed, that they're being slaughtered in the streets, that they could do nothing with their lives, and they can't get anywhere, they can't get ahead, they can't be wealthy. They've built an empire of wealth on a message that claims that they cannot build an empire of wealth or be successful in this country. Yeah, scam artists. That's what this is, okay? These self-proclaimed trained Marxists have hijacked black people. They've branded dead black people. They've branded the victimization of black people. They've made an empire of wealth on this, billions of dollars, led to book deals for Patrice Coolers, led to television deals with freaking Warner Brothers. What am I saying? What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is when you see something like Juneteenth, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's black people getting hijacked by communists, by other black people. They're victimizing black people. They're acting like slavery was just ended yesterday, okay? They live like slavery was just ended yesterday. They cry in the streets at their BLM protests as if they literally just got liberated as slavery, all right? They take these things from the black community. They brand them. They take their struggles, their victimization, or their past horrors that black people have experienced in slavery. They take these things and they brand them in 2021 in order to build a profit or to grift off it to become mainstream or popular. That's what these people do on a daily basis. Juneteenth is no different. It is no different at all. These people are taking something. The communists are hijacking something from the blacks again, okay, in order to brand it. And they're probably going to do something mainstream with it to just raise more money. I can guarantee you that is the blueprint that you see all the time. It'll come with merch. It'll come with mainstream everywhere you see it. That's what these people do. The communists, and it seems like it's black people doing it to black people. Patrice Coolers, the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, has done this to her own community. She's done this to other black people. So they'll take something, they'll use black people in order to gain a profit. Juneteenth is no different. It is no different. And that's just the truth. The world is filled with scam artists, especially Black Lives Matter. Anyways, so people have been celebrating Juneteenth this past weekend. We've seen it in New Jersey, in California, in New York, just degenerate people celebrating Juneteenth, the end of slavery, supposedly, okay? That's what they claim it is. But all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys noticed, Ilhan Omar immediately came out and said what? Wow, we got our federal holiday. What's next? Reparations. These people just want money, dog, okay? They want money. How are you going to vet who actually owes reparations? Are there going to be white people whose ancestors actually bled and died to liberate blacks at the end of the Civil War that are going to end up having to pay reparations? Listen, you might sit there and be like, oh, there's no way. I mean, if they did do that, why would they have to? They don't care. These people don't care. They're attacking all white people. If you are white right now, you are responsible for slavery during the days of the Civil War. Period. They're not going to vet nobody. If the color of your skin is white in this country, they're coming after you for reparations. Ilhan Omar made that very clear immediately after it was publicized that Juneteenth would be a federal holiday. That's what these people want, bro. They just want money. They want money. That's what they want, money and power. Anyways, a bunch of degenerates were celebrating the holiday across the United States of America, and, some black people that were celebrating the liberation of black people ended up beating other black people. It makes total sense, right? Well, you don't believe me? Well, take a look.
Yeah, look at him. That's a body.
One white girl. It's probably her fault. That's a white ally right there, bro. Degeneracy. Oh, yes. Black people just love each other so much. And then the riot police are called in. So this was happening across the United States of America. If we can get this up. The Federalist reports Juneteenth celebrations repeatedly turned violent. Now remember, this is a celebration for black people. Okay, you're seeing this everywhere. Okay, this is a celebration for black people celebrating the end of slavery. So they decide to beat other black people to celebrate it. Juneteenth celebrations repeatedly turned violent with coast-to-coast shootings. Shootings broke out across the country during the Juneteenth weekend celebrations, following President Joe Biden declaring it a national holiday. Biden on Thursday of last week signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, which commemorates the freeing of Texas slaves on June 19, 1865. The president has not yet commented on the Juneteenth violence, but said after he signed the bill that he hopes this is the beginning of a change, as if slavery just ended June 19th, 2021. Does it just blow your mind how these people think? I'm sorry, man. I understand slavery is a very serious thing, but these people talk and act like it just happened. Critical race theory, and white people are going to be to blame, as if it just happened. Juneteenth violence, but said after he signed the bill that he hopes this is the beginning of a change in the way we deal with one another. The way people dealt with one another at the festivities, however, was with violence. In Clover, South Carolina, 3 people were shot around 11:30 p.m. Saturday at a Juneteenth celebration. Wow! Amazing. One victim was a 17-year-old who was seriously injured and airlifted to a hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina, because black people just love each other so much. Authorities said several cars were also struck during the shooting. No arrests have been made, and the motive is under investigation. I'm sure it is, but they've all voted to defund the police, so yeah, who gives a damn, right? California, during a Juneteenth celebration in Oakland, California, at least one person was left dead and several others wounded, Fox News reported. Bullets struck 6 victims between the ages of 16 and 27 because Black Lives Matter. The Oakland police said in a statement, the department also confirmed that a 22-year-old victim died at the hospital. Police said 2 men, allegedly armed with guns, were arrested after running from the scene of the shooting. Tonight, a joyous occasion at our Lake Merritt was marred by a senseless act of gun violence, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf said in a statement. Colorado. In Aurora, Colorado, an all-night Juneteenth party at a strip mall came to an end at 4 a.m. Sunday when multiple gunmen unleashed up to 114 rounds, leaving 1 man dead and 4 other people wounded, according to police. Law enforcement said no arrests were made. Here's an update from the Aurora Police Department. All 5 victims are adults, 4 males, 1 female. 1 male is critical. There were multiple shooters. 114 shell casings have been recovered. Update: the gathering in the parking lot where the shooting broke out was related to a Juneteenth celebration at a unit in this strip mall. Suspects are at large. Anyone who witnessed this incident or has information is asked to contact the Crime Stoppers CO. Defund the police, though, right? North Carolina, an emergency responder was shot while working at a Juneteenth rally in Raleigh, North Carolina. The responder was answering a call for a child who was in need of medical assistance, according to a local news station. The first responder was walking back to the ambulance after helping the child when shots were fired. The news station reported, the WRAL reported that the responder is in good condition and is expected to make a full recovery. The shooter and motives are unknown. Yeah, because they probably defunded the police. Michigan, an officer was working at a Juneteenth parade traffic point in Flint, Michigan, when a car pulled up and opened fire. According to the Detroit News, the officer returned fire, striking the suspect, a 19-year-old female. The woman succumbed to her injuries while at the hospital, police said. The incident is under investigation. Let's take this down. Don't you guys find it ironic that they're celebrating the end, the liberation of slaves in Texas in the 1800s, Juneteenth? Oh, it means so much to us as black people. Our people being liberated from slavery in Texas. It's the end. We need this to be a federal holiday. We need it now. That's what we need. Is all you're hearing, right? Demand, 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 demand. We want this holiday. So they decide to use the holiday, okay? Finally declared a national holiday, a federal holiday, They get ratchet, they get degenerate, fine, go do whatever you want, just do it legally. It's crazy that I'm even saying that because these people get away with anything they want to anyways, right? And they decide to use this holiday, a holiday that is supposedly the end and the liberation of slaves in Texas. They use it, they're celebrating the liberation of black people, they use it to beat more black people. This is why people don't take you serious. I'm just being honest with you. Listen, I'm a person of color. I'll use their language, okay, because I use their terms against them. I'm a person of color. I'm a minority. I'm brown. I'm not white. And this is just stupid. How are we supposed to be taken serious, okay? Now I'm talking to my POC friends out there, all the woke-tards. How are we supposed to be taken serious about these things that we claim to care about? Now I'm speaking to the left right now. How are we supposed to take you serious about your people being liberated, and it's such a meaningful thing to you, right? Which, okay, I guess it is. Slavery was a very devastating thing, and I'm not going to sit here and play it down or water it down or act like it didn't happen. But what I'm saying to you is, if you want people to take you serious, okay, then you don't celebrate something that you claim means so much to your people by holding celebrations, by beating the hell out of your own people at these celebrations, with shooting your own damn people. This is why nobody takes you serious. This is why nobody takes the black community on the left serious. Because you got black people killing each other in the streets, and Latinos are right behind them. I'm not letting this one get away either. Blacks are right at the top, and Latinos are right behind them. We have to call out these communities immediately, and we have to hold these communities accountable now. Because if you guys want to talk about Black Lives Matter, you guys want to talk about, which we're going to get into that as well, minority, people of color being at risk. Listen, police brutality is not the problem right now. You want to know what the problem is, especially in Chicago? We're going to get into that as well. And in these big blue cities, it's our own people killing each other. Okay? And nobody wants to talk about this because it doesn't fit the narrative and it doesn't raise millions of dollars. That's why. It doesn't raise money. It doesn't raise funds. It doesn't get people on board. It's not mainstream. You're not going to see it on the Disney Channel. You're not going to see it on your Disney app. You're not going to see it in mainstream and music. You're not going to see it on the court at the NBA. You're not going to see that. It doesn't fit the narrative. They don't give a damn. People don't care. Their own people don't care. I've covered Black Lives Matter riots and protests in Minneapolis where black people begin to come out and stand up and say, hey, I know you care about this police brutality thing. I got this on video. Go to my Twitter, Drew H Live, Instagram too, where black people stand up and say, hey, I know y'all care about this police brutality thing, but listen, our own people are killing each other out here. We got to talk about this because this is a problem. Silence. And I have this on video. I caught it on video in Minneapolis. And you know what happened? The white people just walked away. When a black man stood up and started saying, we have to address the black on black crime too, the white liberals just looked at him and walked away off camera. You don't believe me? Go to my Instagram right now and I'll show it to you. Because people don't care. It doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit what they want. This is not how you celebrate that. This is clown world. This is why people don't take you serious. Oh, we're celebrating the end of slavery in Texas, and you know how our people, black people, were slaves, and we're going to celebrate it by holding celebrations till 4 a.m. by shooting and beating our own people. Yay! This is why you're not taken serious. Just saying. If you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section below. You guys know it's true. Everybody knows it's true. Because it is true. It's a joke. But like I said at the beginning of the show, what's really happening with these things is they're being hijacked. You got black people that don't care. They just use it. You got black people that use it as an excuse to go get lit, go get degenerate, and go party. That's it. That's why these things happen. You watch these videos, you're like, aren't you guys celebrating like the liberation of your own people? Why are you beating each other? Why are you shooting each other? Because they don't care. They hate each other. Black people hate each other. The facts and the statistics prove that black people hate each other more than white people hate black people. How do I know that? Because the homicide is through the freaking roof. Black on black crime. They hate each other more than cops hate black people. Fact, bro. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Don't get mad at me. It's just that the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about this. Speaking of the mainstream media not wanting to talk about something, we're going to move into our next story, and I'm just going to warn you guys, it's a little graphic. So there was a Puerto Rican Day parade, rally, gathering this past weekend. People were driving down the streets in Chicago. They were waving their Puerto Rican flags. And a couple, a female and a male, one was shot. She survived, was in critical condition. But the male was publicly executed on video. And the mainstream media doesn't seem to want to touch this or cover it. It obviously went viral on Twitter. And I'm going to give you my opinion as to why I believe the mainstream media is not covering this. But I'm just going to give you a warning. You are about to witness a public execution of a Puerto Rican man and an attempted murder of a Puerto Rican woman at the hands of a black man that just doesn't give a damn. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Here it is.
Look at him. That's a body. Oh.
Yeah, that is in Spanish for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's like one of you, man.
That's
My dad and shit. Your shit.
I'm not sorry.
Like my dad and shit.
Single food too. There's the pig's tail and shit.
How long ago did that happen?
And he died. Let's get this up. Let's get some context to this story. A man killed, girlfriend critically wounded in attack during Puerto Rican Day parade in Humboldt Park. Such an amazing girlfriend, people were saying about her. Balloons and bouquets of flowers were set up Sunday at a memorial where the couple was attacked by up to 3 people. Happy Father's Day read one message on the black poster board, R.I.P. Gallo. Read another. The sign was taped to a pole just feet away where Giovanni, the victim, was shot to death, and his girlfriend. The mother of their 2 children was critically wounded during the Puerto Rican Day parade in Humboldt Park Saturday night. This could probably potentially be classified as a hate crime. We'll see. The victim, the one who died, who had just turned 24, and the woman, 25, were ambushed by up to 3 people around 9:15 p.m. in 3200 block of West Division Street, according to Chicago police. The man was taken to Saints Mary and Elizabeth Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead, police said. The woman was hit in the neck and taken to Stroger Hospital in critical condition. A police spokeswoman said there was a crash before the shooting and a crowd had surrounded the couple's car. Video circulated on social media appears to show the couple being dragged from the car and shot as they lay in the street. Police would not comment on the video Monday morning. No one was reported in custody, and no descriptions or images of the attackers were released. A memorial was erected Sunday near the site of the shooting. Loved ones lit candles and left balloons and bouquets of flowers for the victim. He was just there to have a good time and go back home, said his friend, who had planned to meet up with him later in the evening. The victim was remembered Sunday as a family man who was funny and full of life. He was such an amazing friend. He was really caring, his friend said. He was just about being good, being around good vibes, being around good people. Before the parade, police had shut down some of the streets surrounding Humboldt Park, creating traffic jams, witness said. So I don't know. It sounds like it could have been a road rage thing. Not sure. But you know how Chicago is. People just get killed over this stuff. Last week, Roberto Maldonado, 26, complained in a Facebook post about the police district's drastic decision to close Luis Muñoz Marine Drive, a street near the annual parade, in an attempt to prevent violence. But a police spokesperson said Sunday the inner drive of the park has never been opened to vehicular traffic during the parade. Maldonado didn't respond to requests for comment on Sunday. Let's take this down. Now, what I want to say about this is I find it disgusting This is obviously happening in big blue cities. Chicago is a mess. Mayor Lightfoot has advocated to defund the police. They're continuing to defund the police. Violence is skyrocketing because once homicide is committed, there's no investigations to follow up to bring justice. And now it's minorities as well. It's been minorities. Black on black crime, brown on brown crime, brown on black crime, black on brown crime. The list goes on. People getting slayed, people getting murdered by the hundreds every single month in Chicago. And it's interesting because you continue to see this, and Lightfoot is black and claims to care about Black Lives Matter and claims to care about black people, but is silent when it comes to the black on black crime. And literally, it's like a genocide in Chicago. Sometimes you'll hear people in Chicago that support Black Lives Matter. It's a genocide out here. We're being slaughtered and hunted by police officers. The real genocide is, number one, the execution of babies, black people in the womb being executed on a daily basis. That's a genocide. Number two, you literally have black people slaughtering each other on a daily basis in Chicago. Hispanics are right behind them. Right behind them. Now, in the midst of all this, when you got minorities slaughtering each other, okay, when you got black people slaughtering each other in the streets of Chicago, when you got Hispanics, gang violence rising, homicide is rising, investigations are low because they chose to defund the police, so that means justice ain't coming for anybody. When you got massive issues of murder and homicide literally in the streets, running wild in the streets, drug crime, gun crimes, the list goes on in Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot decides to declare, let's get this up, this. Mayor Lori Lightfoot officially declared racism a public health emergency today. This was a couple days ago, last week. Chicago to divert nearly $10 million in COVID funds to address the issue. You read that right. That is an accurate report. Let's take this down. So while you have literally people being executed on video, you have black people slaughtering each other on the streets of Chicago, you have Latinos and Hispanics slaughtering each other, mass murder is on the rise in Chicago, it's not getting any better. The police are being defunded, no investigations, homicide rises. That's a crisis. That's a massive crisis of mass murder on your hands. But Lori Lightfoot decides that she needs to declare a state of emergency because racism. This is what it looks like. Lori Lightfoot is black. Black people in Chicago, if you're stupid enough to believe that Lori Lightfoot gives a damn about black people, you are just low IQ and you're an idiot. You're a moron. Lori Lightfoot does not care about your people. Hispanics too. You know who's a big fan of Lori Lightfoot? The criminal enterprises in Chicago. Because they are allowed to get away with this and they're decimating communities. They're murdering each other. The drug trafficking goes up. The gun trafficking goes up. And the criminal activity continues to rise because Lori Lightfoot would rather declare a state of emergency of racism because that's the SJW, communist, Marxist, critical race theory narrative that gets peddled in the mainstream and must be honored. While black people are getting slaughtered in the streets. Little black kids getting shot. Little Hispanics and Latinos getting murdered in the streets. Puerto Ricans on Puerto Rican Day getting slaughtered, executed for the world to see. Oh, and Lori Lightfoot decides that racism is the big problem here. It's white people. It's white supremacy. White supremacy is the issue in Chicago, not blacks slaughtering each other, not Hispanics slaughtering each other, not blood tainting the streets of Chicago. You want to know what the problem is? It's racism. Vote for me. And then all the blacks and Hispanics, they vote for them. Oh, Lori Lightfoot, she represents us because she's a lesbian and she's black. Yeah, but you got black people being slaughtered. They're killing each other in Chicago. Hello? Is anybody going to talk about this? Is anybody going to bring this up? If y'all really care about black lives, bring it up. Oh, Drew, we all know this. Yes, I know. But some people need to hear this. And why? Because the reason why Lori Lightfoot will not address this She's got the statistics. She knows what's up. They leave this out because they don't give a damn about black people. They want minorities in this position. They want blacks slaughtering each other. They want Hispanics slaughtering each other because it keeps them in power. Because these people keep voting for them. You're a victim. You can't move forward. You need me. Vote for me. I'll change it. And nothing freaking changes. You're a victim. You can do nothing with your life. Vote for me. Oh, yes, because that person's black. And nothing ever changes. It stays the same. And these communities are just walking on a freaking hamster wheel over and over and over. The Hispanics, the Latinos, the blacks, everyone. Just the SJWs, the woke Wookiees and the woke tards, the white freaking allies on the left, just on this hamster wheel. It never changes. It just continues and continues and continues. Why doesn't anything ever change? It's not meant to change. That's how they perpetually stay in power. They're not going to fix your issues. They don't care. They'll just tell you what you want. They'll tell you what you want to hear because you keep voting for these people, even though they do nothing to improve your lives, even though they know that your own people are slaughtering each other, they still refuse to move an inch or a finger. And I'm the bad guy? Oh, the crazy Christian conservative, I'm the bad guy? Yeah, I ain't the bad guy. I ain't the mayor that you elected, okay? That ain't doing anything about black people slaughtering each other in your streets in Chicago. I ain't the bad guy, bro. Look at the one you voted. Why are they not doing anything? Address it, address it, address it. For God's sake, the least you could do is address it. But they don't. Because that's not the narrative. And you know what Black Lives Matter doesn't understand? Sometimes my heart goes out to some of these kids. Let me explain why. Sometimes my heart goes out to some of these Black Lives Matter protesters, you know, the ones that are in the streets, you know, they're losing their voice because they're just preaching their hearts out. A lot of these kids have been deceived. They actually think. Now, I'm not giving them a pass. A lot of them are violent. But as a Christian, sometimes my heart goes out to them because I'm like, man, you guys actually believe that you're like leading the next civil rights movement. Like, you guys actually believe that that's what this is. When in reality, you are literally being used as a useful idiot by a communist organization in order to do the groundwork so that they can get into position and power to do what they want to do and fill their pockets with millions and billions of dollars. You are nothing but a ground useful idiot. All the Black Lives Matter protesters and rioters, you are literally the idiots on the ground that just do the dirty work for them. That's all you are. And sometimes I'm like, man, they're so passionate. They think they're doing something right. It's like, man, just deceived. They're deceived. People need to wake up. You're being used. You're being manipulated. And you're not actually doing what you think you're doing. Look at the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, bro. This organization, you all preach, all Black Lives Matter, Chicago, LA, Phoenix, everywhere you look. Oh, we're oppressed black people. We're oppressed. We're oppressed. We can do nothing with our lives. While the co-founder of your damn organization is stuffing her freaking pockets with billions, son. While you're out on the street claiming that you're oppressed. White people give us money. White people give us Disney. Give us money. NBA. Give us money. NFL. Give us money. LeBron James. Give us money. While you're on the street preaching that you're oppressed. You don't see this? How your higher-ups, the hierarchy, is using you to stack bands, bro? You can't see that? And you think I'm the idiot? You think I'm the clown? Because I'm not going to be manipulated by a political party. I'm not going to be manipulated by a political organization to push a political agenda because of the color of my damn skin. Wake up! That's what's happening to you. Wake up! That's what they're doing to every single one of you that are on the left right now, these radical woke tards that think that they're actually progressing, that are self-proclaimed communists, Marxists, socialists. You think that you're actually doing something, but you are being used by the establishment to push a globalist agenda, a communist agenda, and once you're done, once you're not needed, you will be discarded. And it's interesting. Because the co-founder of Black Lives Matter is stacking her freaking jeans with bands, bro. Well, you got all the black people out on the streets. You got black people in Black Lives Matter literally holding rallies during the summer. We're so oppressed. We're so oppressed. We ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna stop, man. I see these people during the summer. We ain't gonna stop. Ain't nothing gonna stop us. They're losing their voice. They're losing their health. While all the BLM leaders at the top, Patrice Cullors, stacking bands, son. Stacking bands. You got to give it to him, man. I'm just telling the truth, son. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. Call me whatever you want. You know I'm right. And if you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section below. Listen. You want to know why this Puerto Rican man will not be brought to justice? You want to know why the mainstream media is not covering this? It's because the shooter was black. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest right now. If that was a black man that was shot like that by a white police officer, George Floyd 2.0, right? But because it was a Puerto Rican man that was shot by a black man, caught on film, mainstream media doesn't even touch it. This is why I tell Hispanics too. My wife always says this. These Latinos, these Hispanics, these SJWs that side with Black Lives Matter and the communists, they think that they got a pass. They think that you're actually like on their side. No, you're not. None of you are. These Black Lives Matter, black supremacists, they want authority and they want supremacy. They will use white people, they will use Hispanics, they will use Asians to get there. How can you not see this at this point? They're literally charging white people in Seattle at the Pride rally, they're charging white people reparations. How do you know these people are responsible for slavery? Have you vetted their ancestors? Or are you just assuming because they're white? That just proves my point. Yes, it's because you are white. These people want supremacy. They don't want equality. They don't want to be your friend. And all the woke tards, the Hispanics and the Latinos on the left that think that they're allies to the blacks, the white people and the woke tards and the Wookiees on the left that think they're allies to the blacks, the communists and Black Lives Matter, think again, man. They are using you. They're using you to gain power, money, and authority. That's it. That's it. Because where are they now? Where's Black Lives Matter in Chicago seeking justice for this Puerto Rican man that was executed? Where's the mainstream media? Where's the hysteria? You want to know where it is? It's nowhere to be found. Why? Because it was a black guy that shot him. This is what I've been saying for months. Black people are now a protected class. It's a disgrace. Whether you're on the left or the right, that's racist. Because if there's a protected class in this country that has more supremacy, that has more authority, or has more leeway in any way, shape, or form, whether you're white, brown, or black, that's racism. That's segregation. That's elevating another race over another. That's real privilege. And people know it's right. People know it's right. Black people now, listen, and this is why I challenge black people, especially conservatives. You guys need to talk about this more. It's not right that you guys have become this protected class. Even black conservative YouTubers are just protected. You see it all the time. You see people on Twitter, like they're shielded now. And it's not right. It's not right. It's not right. Even I myself, as a person of color, have a little bit of a shield or a little bit of an edge now over a white person, conservative, on social media, because white people are being demonized and destroyed. This is why I use my platform to speak out against it, but they shadow ban me anyways, because everybody knows it's true. Black people, brown people, minorities are now becoming this specialized class, this pampered little class, this victimized little class, where now they're being elevated. Okay, now they're giving a level of supremacy over white people that have nothing to do with this. And it's wrong. As a person of color myself, I come out and I say it's wrong. You may not hear this from your favorite right-winger black YouTuber. They may use that to their advantage, and there are those that do. Trust me, I know them. There's black YouTubers out there that they're just immune, and they know it, and they take advantage of it, and they don't come out and talk about it. To me, that's just as disgraceful as the left doing that, because the left gave that to you. It's not right. I believe in equality. That's what I believe. Now, if someone's more talented than me, that's another story. But I'm talking about based on the color of somebody's skin, and we know that this is where America has been driven to. Again, this is why a lot of conservatives don't like me, because I come out and I state these things. It's true, and everybody knows it. I'm a person of color myself, and I can identify it. Like, it pisses me off that my white friends are less advantaged on social media. They can't say certain things. They can't do certain things because they'll immediately get canceled. Media Matters will come after them immediately, write an article about them, call them a white supremacist because they said black people or something. Pisses me off, dude. Like, I don't think it's right. It's wrong. It's racist. It's not equal. In the sense of we should not be judged on our equality based on the color of our skin. I don't believe all people are equal. I can prove it to you. LeBron James and I are obviously not equal. The guy's taller than me. He's stronger than me. He's way more richer than I am. We are not equal. Now, equal opportunity is something different. That's a whole nother conversation. But I personally do not believe that all human beings are equal in the sense of our talent, our skill, our capabilities, our IQ. That's just a fact. Offend some people. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is we should not be judged on our equality based on the color of our skin. And that is what the left does. That is what the left does. They don't care if you're talented. They don't care if you're experienced. They don't care if you're the right person for the job. They don't care about any of that. Now they're just looking at the color of your skin. They're the real racists. And everybody knows it. They are the real racists. And any conservative YouTuber or social media influencer that leverages that, you're just as guilty. And I think you're despicable. If you don't come out and speak out against, like I come out and speak out against it. I tell my white homies all the time, like, dude, it makes me angry that this happens to you guys. That's why I speak out against it. If I can with my, I guess it's like a POC privilege at this point. We all know it, right? White people in the chat, you know what I'm talking about. These radical communist social justice warriors, the critical race theory has demonized white people. So now white people are less advantaged because it's an act of revenge. Let's all be honest. That's what this is. These radical black leftists are using this as an act of revenge because of their past horrors and horrific history with slavery. That's all it is. That's all it is. I guarantee you, man, at the rate things are going right now, white people are going to end up becoming slaves in some way, shape, or form. They're calling for reparations, and they're not vetting if your white ancestors were slave owners. They're not vetting if your white ancestors were actually men or women that gave their lives in the Civil War. Okay, they're not vetting that. Why? Because they don't care. It's about dominance and supremacy and revenge with these people. That's what it is. And they're doing this in Seattle. I was going to save this for a future episode because there might be people watching this that don't believe me. Okay, so this is real. Let's do this. Okay, let's get this up. Now, let's get this up. Seattle Pride charges white people reparations fee while bisexual, I believe, people of color attend for free. Capitol Hill Pride took issue with the taking Black Pride fee structure and made a complaint to the City of Seattle's Human Rights Commission. That complaint was denied. Hold on, let me pause this. Sorry, new article. A new Pride event is happening in Seattle this month, specifically for BIPOC people. Promotional material for event called Taking Black Pride states that while the event will be free for people of color, white people will be charged a $10 to $50 reparations fee. This is real. This is why I tell y'all. I'm telling white people, y'all are going to become slaves soon. At the rate things are going, you guys will be slaves soon. Next is human labor. I'm telling you, man, if I were to tell you 10 years ago that this would be happening, you would say, there's no way, you're crazy. So I'm telling you now, 10 or 20 years in advance, y'all going to become slaves soon at this rate. This is going to become policy soon. This is where the critical race theory goes. This is what they said. All are free to attend. However, this is a black and brown, queer, trans-centered, prioritized, valued event. The materials read, white allies and accomplices are welcome to attend, but will be charged a $10 to $50 reparations fee that will be used to keep this event free of cost for black and brown, trans, and the queer community. Let's take this down. This is what I've been saying. This is what I've been telling y'all, and I've been telling white people, is this is where this is going. If you don't start speaking up and standing up for yourself, y'all are going to become slaves soon. They're charging white people, they're charging their white allies $10 to $50 reparations to attend, listen, a rally to express your First Amendment right. These people are grifting off of your First Amendment now, son. They're making it's all about money with these people. But if you don't start speaking up for yourself, this is where this is going. This is about revenge. This is not about equality. This is about supremacy and dominance. I'm telling white people right now, man, this is why I speak out against it. As a person of color, as a conservative, I won't stay silent on this because this is racist. That's what it is. White people are now becoming disadvantaged, especially on social media, because they'll be slandered, they'll be discredited, and they'll be canceled immediately if they come out and they say something that whatever the left says is racist. I'm not for little protected classes of people. I'm not. Based on the color of your skin. And that's what they've done. And listen, to be honest with you, some conservatives benefit off of that a little bit, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong that white people have to be careful with what they say on social media because they're not black or they're not brown. It's not right. That's not freedom of speech. But this is where the technocracy has led us. This is where the critical race theory has led us. This is where big tech and the censorship has led us. And it's aimed at white people. And now in Seattle, they're going to have a pride rally and they're going to charge white people reparations to keep the event free. At this rate, I'm telling y'all, man, at this rate, white people, you guys are going to become slaves at some point. This is why I'm telling white people as peacefully, what I'm saying, okay? Peacefully, start speaking up and start speaking out against this. Because if you remain silent, you're going to become a slave someday. People are laughing at me like, hell no, there's no way that can happen. Yeah, if you stay silent, it's going to happen eventually. This is going to become policy. We already know that the Biden administration is putting white people, white farmers, at the end of receiving COVID relief. I reported on that. Remember that? That's policy. There's some policy that white people, that the Biden administration, in terms of small businesses, they're not allowing white people to tap into that because white people don't need it. The people of color need it because they're the victims. So even some small business owners can't get COVID relief because they're white. Policy's already there, guys. It's already there. I'm just telling you, y'all got to do something peacefully. Because at some point, you're going to end up slaves to black people. I'll be right there to defend you. I'll be right there to speak out against it. Trust me, I'll be right here to use the so-called privilege that's been given to me because I'm not white. I'll be right there, but I'll also be there to tell you, I told y'all to say something. It's not right. It's coming. It's gone way too far, man. It's gone way too far. All right, guys, let's do some super chats. If you guys would like to support the show, like I said, obviously, I say some pretty politically incorrect and offensive things because it's true. That is why my channel it's humiliating. That's why my channel is so deboosted and so shadow banned. Over 55K, we can barely get 3,000 views an episode. That's because YouTube doesn't want me saying the things that I say. They don't want people hearing what I have to say. So if you'd like to support this show, it's really hard for us to monetize. So if you'd like to support us, drop a super chat below. But if you got to head out, please subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, destroy that like button, and hit the bell notification right now. But if you'd like to hang around, ask me a question, we'll do a Q&A format, or go check out the merch store right now. The link is in the description. Also, guys, you guys can go to my website, drewhlive.com. Give a one-time donation through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. You can write a little note on the app, and I'll read it live on air like a super chat. So if you guys thought that this episode was lit and you would like to support me, drop a super chat below, and we will get into those right now. Immediately. Let me open this up real quick. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for the support. I truly appreciate it. People don't realize how tough it is being shadow banned and censored. It sucks. It really sucks. But thank you guys. We got some super chats. We have 2 super chats from Stevie Capone. We salute you, brother. Stevie Capone with about $15 in super chat says, I hope the left-wing mainstream media's silence on the execution of a Puerto Rican man speaks volumes to the Latino community. Absolutely. They need to realize that the left and Democrats don't care about Latinos. Yep. Was saying that earlier. Stevie also says, between the silence on the man's execution and the silence on the border crisis, what more proof do the Latino community need? See, this is the tough part. This is where you can only you could shower people with facts. You can show them the truth. You can show them what's going on. You can show them the video. You can show them what's going on. You can show them just exactly how these people don't care. You can show them how they've been manipulated. But it really is the heart. The fact of the matter is the heart of the individual. Some people just refuse. They refuse to believe. They refuse to acknowledge. Because they're arrogant, because the lie that they've embraced is more powerful than the truth that they're actually seeing. What do I mean by that? When the lie that they've embraced, that, oh no, the Republicans are the crazy liars, the conservatives and the Trump supporters, the people that are talking about the crazy border stuff, they're the bad guys. The people that are actually talking about what's really going on in this country, they're the bad guys, because that's what the mainstream media says. They demonize it. They slander it all day long. They accept the lie and reject the truth. It's a spiritual matter. Some people are just spiritually blinded, literally, and they will not be able to see. And I personally believe, because a lot of arrogance and pride literally stops and halts people from accepting the truth, because they're unwilling to just say, yeah, we got it wrong. These people are actually right. And for myself, as someone who's Latino and Hispanic, that's why I'm so vocal. That's why I'm so loud, because I refuse to allow my community to get done like the Democrats did to the black community. Literally. Destroyed them. Decimated them. That's what they're preparing the Hispanic community for next. Why do you think Biden wants to give 11 million undocumented immigrants citizenship? Why do you think they're importing almost 180,000 migrants from foreign countries a month into this country? All votes the future of the Democrat Party, because they're low-level voters. They're desperate people that they could manipulate and lie to. It's sad. We have another super chat from Amzi Zero with a $5 super chat. We salute you. Amzi says, Lori Lightfoot knows how to launder money by her declarations. Absolutely. It's sad because you see these local Black Lives Matter activists. You see these SJWs in Chicago. They're so young. But I think what's happened is a lot of young people, they haven't really experienced a lot of politics. They've never dealt with politicians. And I think what's starting to happen is they're so naive. They live in this fake fantasy and false reality coming out of university. And then they start getting involved with some real world politicians. And they don't understand that these damn people will tell you what you want to hear just to get a vote. And they won't do anything. It's sad. It's sad. We have another super chat from Pressure Biden. $10 super chat just for being you, dude. Hey, salute you, man. Thank you so much for the support. I truly appreciate it. It is very much needed and appreciated. We have another super chat from Damazi626 with the $5 super chat. We salute you. Damazi says, look at South Africa. That's where we're headed in the next 10 years. Speak up now that you can. Absolutely. It's horrible. They're taking us into a third world country. Legalized slavery. Human trafficking. It's all out in the open. Blacks, whites, doesn't matter. These people are literally incentivizing this in the United States of America. This is how it works. You have the criminal cartels right now that are importing, they're sending people about $180K a month since Biden was elected, sending them over the southern border, making $14 million a day. Every single person that gets sent over that border is worth at least maybe around $3,200 or less, at least over $1,500. These people are just making that money. It's a human smuggling, black market, human trafficking organization where these people are making a lot of money. So when the cartels send them, because Biden has reinstated catch and release, and has ordered the Border Patrol to apprehend these families if they have kids that claim to be families, the United States government is unofficially working hand in hand with a criminal cartel human trafficking operation, and they're intaking them, they're receiving them, the Border Patrol, the cartels send them, the United States government receives them, puts them on a bus, sends them to a hotel, puts them on a plane, sends them to wherever they claim to have family in the United States. What's happened is the United States government has incentivized and legalized human trafficking operations federally, and it starts with the criminal cartels on the opposite side of the border, and they tell you, oh, they're just asylum seekers. Have you talked to a Border Patrol agent? I have, many of them at the southern border. You know what they tell me? We have no idea who these people really are. We have no way of knowing if these people are actually who they claim to be. How does that make you feel? You know what that is? That is legalized human smuggling, human trafficking, and the federal government has legalized it. That's how this works. Just because the government legalizes something doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's right. Eugenics, Americans, there was policy in the past where eugenics was a legalized practice in the United States of America. Sterilization of the mentally retarded. There's been policy in the United States of America that's been a disgrace. Racist policy. Disgrace. Just because the government, the federal government legalizes something doesn't make it right. Just ask anyone that's a Holocaust survivor. The Nazis were just following orders. Led to a mass genocide. Just saying. Let me refresh this to see if we have any more super chats. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support very much. We have another super chat from Elizabeth Weddle with the $50 super chat. We salute you, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for the support. Elizabeth chimes in and says, everyone is capable of good, bad, and ugly. I agree. The issue is when good is bad and bad is good. And that's biblical, by the way. The issue is when good is bad and bad is good, and ugly only exists in those who disagree. That's a great quote. I mean, we've seen nations, when you look at the Bible and you see Israel's history, they've gone through things like this where good is evil and evil is good. And it affects their judicial system, judges, leaders, and even the religious system. And God had to come and punish his people in order to chastise them, to somehow bring them back. When you read the book of Judges, that's all you ever see. Any nation that declares itself a Christian nation under God is going to be dealt with that way. And I think America, God has been very patient, very merciful, very gracious, and has really been waiting a long time. But I do believe we are under judgment. When you read Romans chapter 1, there is a judgment that's described in the New Testament that humans experience, societies experience, when they willfully reject the truth of God. When they willfully reject the truth of God, you see in Romans chapter 1, there's this rollout of murder and lies and the depravity of a society where evil becomes normalized. Homosexuality is a part of that. That's part of God, the Bible, in total confusion. Part of Romans 1 in the judgment where God removes his hand of grace, where because a nation or because a society decides to willfully reject the truth about God, God himself, God says, okay, I give you over to your own sinful ways and the consequences, the spiritual consequences of those sinful ways. And when you read Romans chapter 1, homosexuality being normalized is an identification of that, and also total confusion, not being able to discern. Sound like America right now in 2021? According to Romans chapter 1 in theology, that is the depravity of God. That is a judgment that God gives a society over to their sinful ways and to their sinful consequences. And they have to experience it on a grand scale. Yep, that's real in the Bible. And you're seeing it right now in 2021. So I personally believe America is under some kind of judgment right now because these things have been so normalized on a grand scale. You see it on freaking Disney. You go to Old Navy, you see it in there. You go to the mall. We're celebrating Pride Month. By the way, the Bible says there's 7 things that God hates, despises. And the first one he says is pride. That's hate speech now, isn't it? Don't know. According to the Bible, you guys know what I'm talking about. We have another super chat from Michael Minkler. $5 super chat. We salute you. Michael Minkler says, as long as the future doesn't go to ish, big tech will historically be looked back on as an authoritarian far-left regime aimed to tear apart the United States. I agree. That's what's happening. But depending, because the victors always write history, we'll see. Because it kind of seems like we're living in the Orwellian George Orwell 1984 novel. Sounds like that's where we're going. Did you guys see that story that came out? I don't know if it was in California. I don't know where it was. Let me see. I think I have it here on my phone. It tripped me out, man. It tripped me out that I was reading this. Texas. It was in Texas. Texas residents had their temperature raised on their smart thermostats without their knowledge during a heat wave. Imagine that. Imagine on your smart thermostat, okay, you got someone on the other side that's controlling your own climate in your own home. It's just crazy, bro. I don't know about that, man. I ain't getting one of those. You psych. Yeah. It's like, no, we're going to tell you we're going to tell you what climate you get to live in your own home. 1984, son. That's where we're going. Let me refresh this. I think we have a couple more super chats before I let you guys go. Thank you guys for the support. I truly appreciate it. We have another super chat from Cold Haterade. Good to see you, man. Cold Haterade with the $5 super chat. Soros appointed politicians like Lori Athlete's Foot. That's a good one. Should get disappeared. Forget voting them out. Yeah, I don't advocate violence, but I do advocate peaceful transitions as much as possible. We have another super chat from White House. A $5 super chat. We salute you. Chicago has some of the strictest gun laws in the United States. So your whole segment on the shooting has to be BS, right? I mean, gun laws, you know, the thing. It's true. But this is what we've been saying. Taking away people's guns is not the answer because criminals don't follow the law, and who ends up with the guns to kill the innocent people? The authoritarian psychopaths and the bad guys. That's a historical fact. But all the woke-tards out there like, get rid of the guns, get rid of the guns, it's a pandemic, get rid of the guns. Oh, yes. Just go walk up to a psychopath on the corner of Chicago. Go to one of these gangsters and say, excuse me, Mr. Gangster Blood or Crip or Mr. Crazy Person. Can you get rid of your guns? Because we're experiencing a pandemic and people killing each other. Can you just do the right thing and get rid of guns? Bam! That's the real world. We have another super chat from Sherry Angel 60. $5 super chat. We salute you. Sherry Angel 60 says, spot on, brother, from another mother. Absolutely. Thank you. Try to be spot on, man. Damazy 626 says, I admire your biblical knowledge. Hey, man, you could be there too. You know, I was theologically trained, went to Bible college. I know how to exegete the scriptures. So it's funny and it's cute when you get conservative. Sometimes I pretend I'm dumb. Like I'll go to like conservative conferences and they claim to be Christians and know about the Bible, and I'll pretend I'm dumb, you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, what about this? What about that? And they just have no idea what they're talking about. These are some pretty big people that claim to be Christians. I'm not going to drop any names, but you know, I was a youth pastor for like 6 years, theologically trained, exegete the scriptures, know how to break it down. So sometimes I think it's cute when, you know, people who claim to be these Christians just have no idea what they're talking about. And they have these massive followings pretending to be, you know, Christians and can't even get the deity of Jesus Christ correct. It's very clear out in the scripture. Jesus is God. We have another super chat from Michelle Soria. $20 super chat. We salute you. Michelle says, like all of your content, this was on spot on. Keep speaking the truth, Drew. God bless you. I definitely will, Michelle. Thank you so much for the support. I think we got a donation on PayPal. I don't know if there was a message with this, but Debbie Cannett. Thank you, Debbie, with the $50 donation. Debbie is a frequent supporter of mine. Oh, there it is. Debbie says, thanks, Drew, for your reviews. God bless, Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. By this week, we should have our Discord. We should have the Patreon fully done. I had a little bit more time this week to do some more stuff, so we're going to dedicate to finishing that so we can get that rolled out and get that going immediately. So thank you guys for being patient with me. Truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the support. We definitely appreciate it and need it, especially being as shadow banned and destroyed as we are. Yes. But yeah, people always like trip out because I do that, man. I do that to people a lot. Kind of act dumb, like I don't know what I'm talking. Like I don't know anything about the Bible, and then I'll challenge some of these so-called Christian conservatives and ask them some theological questions, and the answers I get are just like, my goodness, wow. And these people have this much of a following claiming to be a Christian. It's pretty scary. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you guys can do me a huge favor, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and toggle on the all selection. Share this video far and wide wherever you can post a link on your Twitter, your Parler, your Gab, your Facebook, wherever. Post the links. We need you guys to get this show out. Truly do appreciate it. Love you guys very much. We do this show Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I go out on the road. Sometimes I'm reporting out on the road. I try my best to do this show on the road from a hotel, but if I can't, I will notify you on the community section on this channel. So make sure that you hit that bell notification and subscribe. Otherwise, you will not know. I'll let you guys know on a daily basis if I can't do the show. But I try and do it Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Love you guys very much. I hope you guys have an amazing week. May God bless you and your family. Love every single one of you. And like always, America, stay free.